Well, Larry, I have some great memories of, especially when I lived a lot with my grandmother in the Claddagh, and there were great old times, and there was lots of, as I said, lots of fun and games of cards and everything. This was before the television ever came out, and there was a lot of stories around too about, like the old people were very wary of, especially the devil. The devil was the worst, and he's still around. But there was another one then as well that had the fear of God in us all. I heard her one time myself, the Banshee. The Banshee.
I heard, yeah, the
Every
Banashee.
year,
Yeah. I did a course. I did.
she roars and howls and everything, and you can nearly see through her. But I'll tell you a story now about the Banshee. In the olden days there, before they rebuilt the Claddagh, and shortly after they rebuilt the Claddagh, if you're going down now there, you'll see, when you're on your way home, you'll see the fire station there. Well, before the fire station was built, uh, they reckoned that there was a field there, and the name of the field, the Claddagh people only called it the Garry, which in English is just the field, but they used to call it down the Garry. They used to use an awful lot of Irish words that time, even when I was growing up. It was a Gaelic area, like, we'd say 200 years ago it was completely Irish, but now there's very little, there's a little, but very little Irish there now, the odd person. But anyway, getting away from that anyway, I know that I had uncles and a few of the locals from the Claddagh. They used to go to a club uptown. Now let me see what the name of it was. Oh yes, the Plaza, I think it was. I think it was some kind of from the time of the British. It was a kind of like, I suppose, a card club, maybe a kind of a, like there's different clubs like that from the time of the British, like there was all billiard halls and snooker halls, but this place was called the Plaza anyway, and the lads used to be playing cards, and the priest on the pulpit on a Sunday was always against the cards. He said it was the devil's work. The devil's work. And another thing the priest didn't like was, even going back 200 years ago, they didn't like the fiddle. They made out that the devil played the music. I think in the 1700s in Ireland, they banned the fiddle altogether from the pulpit. They said it was the devil's work. Now whether that's debatable, no, Larry.
Yeah.
But it is a fact that they said it was the devil. But they were very against the cards, the gambling, the cards. The old game of 25, like, it was very Irish old tradition. The lads went up anyway to the Plaza one night. And where the Garry was now, as I said, where the station is now today, the fire station, there was an old pump there, like there was in all the little villages around Ireland. No running water in the house. Running water is only a recent thing. It's only in my generation. Taps were outside, that, and toilets were outside, everything. They're all having 3 showers a day now, and I don't know what they're having the 3 showers a day in a cold country like Ireland for. But anyway, that's true. Young lads, not women at all, young lads are mad for showers, whatever there's. If you were out in 140 degrees heat, you might need a shower, 3 showers a day, but that's the way they're brought up. I don't know what's going on, but that's going on anyway. But the lads anyway went for their cars uptown to the Plaza, and when they were coming home, they were happy enough, and sure, maybe they had a few pints as well, I don't know, no, but they wouldn't have had that much, because when they were playing cards, they wouldn't, they'd want to be on the ball, they'd want to win the few bob, like, whatever was going. So they were passing out anyway at the old pump, and this is a true story, Larry. This is definitely a true story. My mother told me as well about it, she's seen it herself. And at the pump, every now and again, this red-haired woman with a red cloak and a beautiful red dress, something like the old traditional dress in the west of Ireland. There was always a woman to be seen at that pump, and she was from the other side, the other world, and she was a banshee. And the next thing, the lads were passing and they saw her in the middle of the night, and there she was, washing her hair, Larry, in the middle of a winter's night, and they were walking home. And one fellow says, "What's that over there?" "Oh God," he says, "let's run, lads." He says, "That's the Banashee." And declare to God, didn't she follow them? Now I can name the house. And she was roaring and screaming at them and everything. And they could see through her, even though she was human to look at, but they could see through her. And she was moving like floating, but following them. And I could tell you now, I know the exact house, and it's only 300 yards from here. But the lads nearly, they got the fright of their life. They never forgot it to the day they died, the night the Banshee. Because no one liked the Banshee in Ireland years ago. Because always the old people said it, that if anyone is going to die, the Banshee would call around to your house, maybe the night before or 2 or 3 days before. I've heard her myself, and she'd cry, and you won't know, you might not see her, but you'll hear her wailing and crying, and that's a sign that usually that somebody is going to die, whether it's in your house or the house next door, Larry, you know.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
But that's what happened to the lads. They never won cards again, and shortly after that, didn't the Plaza, I think was the name of the place now that comes to my mind, I think it was an English playing club, they never got to play cards in the Plaza again, because it had an unnatural burning down. It was burned to the ground, and nobody ever could find out in investigations or any other way how did it go on fire. The lads never got back to play cards in it again, and that's the true story. So I say to everybody, these kind of things are out there, so watch out for the Banshee. She's no joke, I can tell you. So that's that story. No, Larry, there's lots of stories around there. And,
cheers, thanks very much,
Sam. There's another 20 yards further on then on the bridge. You know, you'd be told not to walk there after 12 o'clock. And I can tell you that these things are all true. If you don't watch out for yourself, you know, the people, all them people are there. As I said, the Banashee is there, and the Sheogi are there. And declare to God, as I said, be careful that you ever meet on Joe himself, and then you'll be in trouble. But these people can take you away, you know.